Hi, it's Amy from OneTreeHillBlog.com, and we've got
This is Denise.
Denise. You know her voice at least from One Tree Hill Podcast. So it's amazing we're finally in the same room. It's been 2 years that we've been doing this.
Just almost 2 years too, right? I mean, it's like, bam, to the day.
Yeah, because I started One Tree Hill Blog in December of 2007.
Wow.
And you hopped on the bandwagon there pretty fast.
It was probably like the end of February. It was right around that writer strike, and I was looking for something to watch. People probably, this is like lore now. I was looking for something to watch, and I put the first season of One Tree Hill in my Netflix queue, and as they say, or the whole cliche goes, the rest is history.
Right. And I'm going to take this moment while we're together here, because once Denise started commenting a lot on the site.
A lot? Like,
well,
very long paragraphs.
Yeah, she would comment, and I'd be like, man, I really agree with everything you're saying, and like, I really like your comments, and you really should start a podcast. And she was like, really? I don't think you believe me.
No, you and Selena.
Yes, Selena, and she did it, and so finally convinced her, and look where we are 2 years later.
Yeah,
like, the One Tree Hill podcast now. So I'm taking credit. Yeah, I'm putting my line in the sand.
But then I threw the ball back in her court when she started talking on and on about Friday Night Lights. I said, hey, you got this site, you got all these things, you want me to watch it, you say a lot of things about it. You should start a podcast for Friday Night Lights.
So I branched out, and several of you know that I've got a couple sites, and Friday Night Lights is one of them, and actually Caitlin, you might know K.E. Madison on Twitter, we run the Friday Night Lights site now. We met through One Tree Hill Blog, actually, and we met this Monday, and we have been doing the Friday Night Lights fan podcast now for...
You're at 22 episodes?
Yeah, 22 episodes in of that. So it's kind of crazy how it's all...
And then what did I tell you? Because you were always telling me stuff. I was like, yeah, the reviews are great, but you guys need to go out and get some actors to come on and interview them.
Yeah, so now we've interviewed, I think, 6 or 7, and doing another one tomorrow. Actually, anybody knows Zach Rohrig, who plays Matt Donovan on The Vampire Diaries now? We are interviewing him tomorrow, which is Thursday the 4th. We're going to interview him, so we're excited about that.
That's great. It's awesome.
Yeah. So, we just thought it was good because we were actually in the same room. It's the first time in 2 years. And just to keep it One Tree Hill related, maybe we're going to just throw out some things, maybe because we're on hiatus, maybe some things that we're missing.
Well,
we just got to talk One Tree Hill.
Before we do that, I know a lot of people have been going back and forth about season 8. What are they going to do? We don't know.
No, we don't know. We don't know any anything. Inside information.
But, I made a comment on my podcast about, and we had talked about this before we did this, maybe they might go with 13 episodes and, split it up or something, and that might be a viable option for them.
I think so, too. I've heard on one of your podcasts they said they had plenty of storylines to go with. I don't know if they could stretch it for 22 episodes, but 13 might be the perfect one. Because we were talking about, we felt like a lot of things got wrapped up at the end of season 6, and maybe just this one season wasn't really enough to feel like we grabbed a hold of all the characters' storylines and then close it out. I think maybe we need one more just to finalize that. So
I have to share one more thing. When I started this podcast for One Tree Hill, with Amy's continued plotting of getting me to do it, what was the one thing I would always G-chat you about that I wanted, and I finally got?
An interview with Hillary. Yeah, we didn't even...
Tell them how long I whined about that.
Well, when did we say we met? February 2008? All the way till... When was it that you interviewed her?
Oh, last April.
Year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, a year. I listened to... I just gotta get Hillary. And
then I'm done, I said.
Yeah, so I don't hear that anymore. Now it's like, oh, I'm going to go interview, whoever else.
Well, recently I just did an interview for the SoGo Pro Music Podcast. Interesting turns that I went from wanting to interview Hillary to interviewing her, and now helping out her company, Southern Gothic Productions. That's just kind of freaky. But I just recently posted an interview with Dave Brenner from Theory of a Dead Man, so... that was kind of exciting.
Yeah. Let's go down your list, Denise. All the people that you've interviewed now.
Now my music guy that I really love to get a hold of is T-Bone Burnett. And he wrote the most of the score for Crazy Heart. And he also was a producer and did some music supervision for Provinces of Night, which Hillary Burton is in, along with Chris Christopherson, Dwight Yoakam, Val Kilmer, Faye Dunaway, just a few people you might know.
Yeah. Just a couple.
But like you were talking about, let's talk about what, it's only been a couple of weeks since One Tree Hill had a new episode, but I think people are already feeling the pang of not having a new episode.
Well, I even got some messages on Twitter yesterday, like, why wasn't One Tree Hill on last night? They don't even, like, some people don't even realize that we're on a hiatus for so long. I mean, April 26th is going to be a long time. So what are you looking forward to seeing when we come back? What are you missing?
I think the big thing, and Stephanie Rains and I, who Steph does the podcast with me in the reviews, we talked, I don't know how long, weeks and weeks and weeks about seeing Amanda Schul back any way we could get her. So just to see how this new character of Katie Ryan progresses, I'm pretty sure they're going to make her a psycho, unfortunately. But just to see Amanda Schul back on there, what a great addition. Even if we only get her for a few episodes, she's a great super person, and I think she really hit a chord with the fans.
Yeah. I agree, and I'm looking forward to seeing how all that plays out when it comes back, because we only have a couple episodes to work that out when we come back. Isn't
it's
it?
Got to be like bam, bam. Yeah.
It's going to have to progress pretty quickly to close out there. Hopefully, it's not going to be like Nanny Carey, where how many episodes did we have of her?
That was drawn out forever.
Yeah, so hopefully we won't see her psycho for too long. But yeah, and I'm actually looking. I know you're not a Brooke fan. We all know, but I am looking forward to seeing what they do with Brooke and Julian.
Just make her happy, please. So
I'm ready for feisty Brooke, happy Brooke, and maybe like do something different. So I'm glad all that seems to be over, and maybe we're moving forward there. So
well, I want to tell them too that we've got some, and you're going to help out. You are. Later on in the month, and maybe it might go into April. We've got some really cool podcasts coming. Amy's awesome about always posting our podcast on her site, because she has to, because she got me into this. But like in a couple of weeks, we're going to do like a St. Patrick's Day episode, and we're going to be drinking with somebody. I can't tell you who yet. And then in a few more weeks, we're going to do a What If episode. And Amy, I know you're getting ready, because you're going to be on that one. I always loved those comic books when I was a kid about, it would put you in an alternate universe, and what if this happened, or what if this didn't happen. And so I wanted to do that for One Tree Hill, because there's so many twists and turns in the show that what if this didn't happen, or what if this did happen, and how it would have turned out completely different.
It's a lot like, if you're any Lost fans, that's kind of happening right now. Like, what if they never crashed, and how was their life going about, and how could they have met up? Now, I have to say, I'm not smart enough really for that. I'm not smart enough to think about what happens if Lucas and Peyton, like, don't get back together.
No, we don't. That's never going to be a what if option.
What happens if Peyton never comes back from LA? I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I can think through that.
My two, and I'll give you guys a preview that I would love to talk about with all you guys, and it's going to be all of us. It's going to be you, myself, Caitlin, Madison, Stephanie Rains, and if we can draw Andrea back in, look, so she can have the Nathan and Haley perspective. Is what if Lucas and Peyton had slept together that very first time,
right?
Or maybe even the time in the hotel room, what would have happened? Or two, what if they had explored the storyline of her taking drugs a little bit more, Peyton, that is.
Yeah.
Those are my two that I really want to discuss.
I haven't thought about it, but it brings some things to mind, like big things. Nathan and Haley, what if they never got married? What if they didn't have Jamie?
What if he hadn't got thrown through that window? What kind of NBA player would Nathan have been? Would he not have respected the game as much as he does now?
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. Maybe I'll be on it now. I have to think really hard. That gives me time to think.
We're not doing it to the end, so we're fine.
Yeah.
But like Amy said, we just wanted to do this little video because we're so excited to be able to see each other instead of just seeing Amy's little face and her little avatar. I'm like, well, I know what she looks like.
Yeah. It's good. I've had a good week because I met Caitlin for the first time on Monday, and now I get to meet Denise, so I've had a good week.
Well, we hope you guys enjoyed us getting to meet each other, and you getting to meet us together. And I'll have all kinds of information One Tree Hill wise on the OneTreeHillblog.com and OneTreeHillPodcast.net. So we'll see you later.
Bye.